SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
Still stuck on hold and paying too much for insurance? Switch to M&M Insurance Agency. Real people, real options, real savings. Call 601-651-6001 or visit mnminsuranceagency.net today.
You're listening to SportsTalk Mississippi On Demand, presented by Pearl River Resort. Escape to Choctaw, Mississippi and enjoy world-class gaming, the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, and Geyser Falls Water Park. Escape to Pearl River Resort.
Sports Talk Mississippi is on the air. Sports Talk Mississippi is powered by C Spire. Power your home or business with C Spire Fiber. To learn more, visit supertalk.fm/C Spire. C Spire Fiber powers Super Talk Mississippi. To the junction, in the grove, and to the top. This is Sports Talk Mississippi. On your radio and in the game, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome in on this Wednesday, a Thunder and Lightning Wednesday. Sports Talk Mississippi. I'm Borkey, he's Hadad. Glad that you guys are with us. There are 4 teams remaining in college baseball. Dabo Swinney has not necessarily walked back his comments about Ole Miss, but the tune has changed a good bit. I wonder why that's the case. We'll talk about all that and more with you again on this Wednesday. I'm Michael Borkey. He's Brian Hadad. We got something special for you coming up here in about 12 minutes as well. So a whole lot to get to. I am also in the middle of a hate watch. We'll talk about that here in a second. And, so glad you guys are with us.
What do you have against the Croatians? What
that's not the hate watch.
Borky in here, sitting down for God Save the King. I got it.
I would have, had I heard it.
I think it's, instead of sitting down, you should just stand up and turn your back.
Well, I would have done that, too. Either one.
Well, wherever you're doing this weekend, let's make it a Pearl River Resort weekend, and you can have a fantastic weekend doing whatever you like, playing golf, eating great food, relaxing by the pool, hitting Geyser Falls, or if you want to go to the Sportsbook at Timeout Lounge and hate watch whatever teams that aren't America that you want, we can make that happen for you as well. Pearl River Resort, pearlriverresort.com. C Spire text line open to you, 601-879-4395. With C Spire, it's easier than ever to get all the devices you want with just one simple move, the Ultimate Connect bundle. Right now, new and current customers can get a free phone, watch, and tablet plus 100 gigs of data for just $90. That includes the new iPhone 17 and Samsung Galaxy S26 for free, and a free smartwatch and tablet to go with it. So don't wait. There's more to see. Visit cspire.com or stop by your local C Spire store today. C Spire, inspired by you. You all right there?
Our listeners better be glad that we are honest people.
Okay.
Sometimes we accidentally get...
Oh, my God.
Sometimes we accidentally get messages that are not intended for us. And sometimes it'll be like, hey, honey, on the way home, or make sure you get this, or I got this. Just mistaken messages. It does happen from time to time.
I got to let this guy know what's going on here. I'm sorry.
One of our listeners sent us a picture of his health insurance card.
And then
it said they'll probably ask for my social security number.
You gave it to He gave it to us. Oh, you shouldn't have asked for that. That was not the...
No, so we sent him at the exact same time. So it was getting sent.
Okay.
So, sir, out there...
Or ma'am.
Well, you see the insurance card.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a gentleman. We will not do anything with the information that you have accidentally provided to us on the text line.
No.
We got insurance card and social security number. Yeah. Suddenly, hold on, $10,000 just hit my bank account.
Yeah, real quick, ask him what his first dog's name was, and we'll just get all the way in there.
What's your mom's maiden name?
Yeah.
Well,
he's looking at the text I just sent him, going like, what? Yeah, you think? You think, buddy? Well,
oh, goodness.
Here we go. Penalty for England, by the way. Here we go.
Come on.
Harry Kane at the spot with the run-up, and... Oh, it's saved! It's saved.
You're ahead of me.
Harry Kane.
You're
Kane, you can take the man out of Spurs, but you can't take the Spurs out of the man.
That was a horrible penalty.
That's a bad penalty. From that guy, you would not expect that. That guy has 60 goals this year. What's up with him? Oh, wait. Are they reviewing that he come off the line?
No, I think
they are. They're reviewing it, yeah.
Oh, something happened in this World Cup that I loved. It was in our game last Friday. Tim Ream got a yellow card. Mm-hmm. For what looked like a really bad penalty. They reviewed it for a flop. They call it dive in soccer.
Right.
But for a flop.
And they got him.
And so they took the card away from Tim Reeve and gave it to him.
He might be off the line. He might have a foot off the line there. Yep, back to the spot. Kick it again.
His foot's on the line, though.
No, his front foot's off the line. Retake.
What a joke, because that was such a bad penalty, too.
It was a terrible penalty.
Hey, Dad, what's wrong with all of the good countries except for Argentina and the United States? No,
Germany. Germany's good. Germany's fine.
France played well too, didn't they?
France played great in the second half. They were fine. But
you
Portugal
got a lot
today,
of bad results here.
Portugal, Spain, and this game here is between two of the best teams. So whatever happens, happens. But
I'm hate watching England, though.
I understand. I get it.
Everybody else in the world, except for the Iranian team.
Right. Kane back at the spot. Here we go.
He does not look like he should be a professional athlete. Like
Kane,
just in the face.
The best striker in the world.
Face.
That one's in. 1-0 to England.
You say he's the best striker in the world, but has anybody have you seen Balogun play?
Yes, I have. This guy,
Harry Kane, can't do what Balogun did.
Harry Kane has 60 goals this year to lead the Bundesliga, all right?
Yeah, because they just hand him stuff like that.
No,
he just got that gift wrap.
You got to calm
him.
down. You got to calm down just a touch.
He got that gift wrap.
That's fine.
Him.
I'm just telling you, the man has scored. He's as good as it gets, I promise you.
But everybody else is having a great time in this World Cup, except for people from England. And so I want them to have the worst time. I want them to lose every game.
This one says, be careful, my wife is half English. She's going to be mad. Well, hello, governor.
She can be mad all she wants, and she can cry.
You get mad in the same pants you got glad in there.
She can get mad over her mushy peas or whatever that they're eating. Beans for breakfast. What are we doing here?
I don't get beans for breakfast. I don't. Like a full English breakfast looks fantastic. There's like 3 kinds of sausage and bacon. There's toast. There's eggs. And then there's beans. And I'm like, why?
I am more distraught about the mushy peas. That's what bothers me more.
It's a weird one.
And if you guys aren't familiar with what mushy peas are, it's a staple at stadiums across England and just, in their cuisine as well. And you may have guessed that mushy peas are peas that are mushed up.
They are. It is exactly what it says it is. There's no hyperbole here. It is mushed peas.
And they love it.
They love it. That's what they eat with their fish and chips.
You know who else loves it?
Who?
Newborns.
Well, that's a little different.
That's baby food. They're eating.
Oh my God! When we visit her family in England, she brings back 20 cans of mushy peas. Why do you need cans of mushy peas?
Yeah,
just buy peas and mush them. Do you have a potato masher, sir? Do you have a stick blender?
Do you guys have a toddler at home? Is that why you do it?
What's going on here? Why do you need that?
Oh man, our game at 2:00 on Friday. I hope Rhino took the day off as well because he deserves to. We love our good friend Rebecca Turner a lot. She is outstanding. Mm-hmm. Rhino should not have to do anything, talk to anybody, us, Rebecca, anybody, at 2:00 on Friday. He should, hopefully he took that day off. I did, so it'll just be Hadad and Will carrying you guys through that because I took the day off. I'm going to pick little guy up.
It's not the same, she said. What do you mean it's not the same? It's peas. Mush them up. How can it be different?
And it's not like they season their food either.
Yeah,
so
there's like some special English seasoning in there. What do they season it with? Hopes and dreams?
That's exactly what they season it with. Yeah. They season it with losing the Revolutionary War. That's what they season it with.
We were talking about that today. I was on Mornings with Richard Cross without Richard Cross, and I was talking about how it's possible we could play the English on July 4th. And I said, but we would be a big underdog in that game. And Lucian made a good point. It's like, yeah, well, we were a big underdog against the British about 250 years ago. How'd that turn out? I was like, if only George Washington had had FanDuel, could have gotten the United States in the Revolutionary War at minus 550. Or plus 550, I guess, yeah. Like, what are you doing, General Washington? Oh, nothing. I'm just inventing Polymarket. And we're gonna be rich after all this.
Who's the guy, what was it, was it Ivory Coast? That, like, one of their best players is getting investigated for match fixing?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Not good. Not good.
No. Not good at all. What is good, though, is the Big Apple Inn. We're going to talk about it when we come back. Really exciting feature that we're going to have for you this offseason. We're going to highlight some of the staples of our capital city. And, I truly privately tell people Jackson is a sneaky elite food city.
Yeah.
And we're going to highlight some of that throughout the offseason, and we will do that with the owner of the Big Apple Inn when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi, Pearl River Resort Studio. Hate watching England. And also we're going to talk about college football, baseball, all that good stuff throughout the afternoon as well. The stuff that you guys really care about. We also have a team to get to on the countdown of 100 teams in 100 days. So a busy afternoon. We'll be back in just a bit.
In the
place for crazy people.
If it's sports in Mississippi, you'll hear about it here. Sports Talk Mississippi on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. We go to the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team, Mississippi Farm Bureau. Big Apple Inn's Geno Lee joins us right now. We got a lot to get to, a lot to talk about with you. I do need to ask, though, because we were talking about hate watching England in the World Cup, and we were mocking the concept of mushy peas. As a restaurateur, have you had the England version of mushed up peas that apparently is a staple of their cuisine over there? Have you had it?
I have.
Is it as bad as it looks?
It's just as bad as it looks. You know, it's funny when you talk to English people and you talk about cuisine, even they say, don't come eat with us, you know?
It's not even cuisine at that point. It's just food. Don't call it cuisine at that point. Let's talk about the cuisine that they're serving up at the Big Apple Inn. The word institution, I think, gets thrown around kind of loosely these days. You'll have a restaurant that's been open for 5 years. Like, oh, that's an institution. Then you have places like the Big Apple Inn that are a true institution. You just take us through the history of a place that's been open since before almost everybody listening was probably born.
Right. Well, you know, it is an institution. In fact, some people might say I need to be in an institution for operating a restaurant. But we've been there a short 87 years. You know, my great-grandfather opened in 1939. It's the oldest restaurant in Jackson.
How is that hard, or is it easier to take over a place that's been established, or do you find that maintaining the integrity, quote unquote, of the institution is more difficult than operating one without that background?
Well, you know, I don't think there's anything easy about the restaurant business. I'm the fourth generation, and my daughters, I said, I'm setting this up for you girls. And they said no, and they ran, you know. And if you were to talk to any restaurant owner or chef in town, they would just say smart girls. You know, there's nothing easy about the restaurant business. Every day is completely different. You know, you wake up and you think, okay, let today run smoothly, but there's always going to be something else.
What was today's problem?
Today's problem, let's see. Dumpster service didn't run.
Oh, no.
At one of my restaurants, the air went out. I mean, when you wake up, it's always something different.
What's not different is the menu at the Big Apple Inn, and it just stays the same and has. And I think the sign of a good restaurant is a place that does two or three things well. I would rather go to a place like that than a place that has like a menu that's a book and it's 20 pages.
I agree.
And you know, you're talking about smokes, pig ear sandwich, tamales. What else do I need to eat at that point? That's what's made the Big Apple Inn special. Do you have a favorite? Which one of those three things, if I said you could only have one, which one is it?
Oh, smokes.
Yeah.
I eat a smoke every day. And in case you don't know what a smoke is it's a sausage made here in Mississippi. It's called Red Rose Smoked Sausage. And we get it in link form, and we grind it up in a grinder and put it on a griddle and cook it to I guess the consistency of hamburger meat. Put it on a slider bun with the mustard sauce, slaw, and our homemade hot sauce, and it's like heaven on a bun.
I want to point out that this man eats a smoked sausage sandwich every day. Look at him. He looks like he's in great shape.
Oh, I'm a circle.
I mean, that's probably the key. So you don't get sick of it?
I don't. In fact, we keep them in our freezer at home because whenever we have company come to the house, that's the first thing people ask. Got any smokes?
Oh.
And I guess people think they're being funny, but we say, yes, we do.
Absolutely. My goodness. That fascinates me, too, because I've actually had the opportunity to talk to some musicians, and they say, playing the same song every night, I kind of get tired of it. I want to play something else, but I got to play the hits. But hearing you say, I mean, you love your product so much that it's an everyday thing. That speaks to me, too. I'm an everyday kind of guy. Now, I've got a 6-year-old, though, so it's mostly, Dino Nuggets and stuff like that. But I would be just like you with something as good as that.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things. It's like my day isn't complete unless I have at least one smoke. And everybody in our family loves them. It's one of those things, that it's just whenever we're closed, you miss it.
Yeah. So I did a little reading, and the pig ear sandwich, it was a happy accident. Basically, it was you got your great grandfather received a case of pig ears. They're like, we're going to throw them out anyway. If you want them, you can have them. And he turned it into, again, using that word, an institution. It's something that's historic at this point. And again, that's something I think good restaurants, they have those kind of things. They find those. They take the piece that the poor people want to eat, and they turn it into something that everybody in town has to have. And that's what you guys have done with a pig ear sandwich. Just for our listeners who've never had one, what is it like eating a pig ear sandwich?
Well, as I tell people, me, my wife, my daughters, we're big foodies. In fact, we plan trips around food. We plan vacations around food. Before we book a hotel or a airplane, we book the restaurants first. So we're the kind of people that eat with our palates and eat with our minds and not so much with our eyes. So if you get over the idea that it's a pig ear, and think about eating maybe a piece of bacon, because it's definitely a pork flavor. Mm-hmm. So imagine eating a piece of bacon that's not cooked crispy. You remember Shoney's?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like Shoney's bacon then.
Yeah.
So imagine taking a bite of 2 or 3 pieces of Shoney's soft bacon and a lasagna noodle at the same time. That's a pig ear.
There it is.
Has a pork flavor, but has a little crunch, which is the cartilage. That's a lasagna noodle cooked al dente. And that's a pig ear.
Well, what's the process in that? Because, Hadad and I both love barbecue. Our audience absolutely loves it. And, of course, you have to cook different cuts different ways. What would you compare cooking a pig ear to in terms of another cut? Can you do it quick and fast, or is it a long, slow process?
Well, you could cook it either way. Now, the way we cook ours, we pressure cook it. When my great-grandfather first brought the pig ear into the restaurant because they were given to him free, he said, I'm going to figure out a way to make some money on this thing. I'm getting this free. So he figured if you boiled it for a full day, it's not tender enough to eat. But if you boil it for 2 or 3 days, it gets tender enough to eat. And that's what he did. Like, who boils something for 3 days just to be able to take advantage of something free? But he did that, and then with the invention of the pressure cooker, what once took 3 days now takes 30 minutes. So we pressure cook our pig ears, and they're fork tender. If you pick it up with the fork out of the pot, it's falling through the fork. But so we cook our pig ears that way and put it on the same slider bun with the mustard sauce, slaw, and our homemade hot sauce, and it's a delicacy. But in Asia, they'll cook a pig ear for 10 minutes, and that's it. They'll cook it where it's still hard and crunchy, and then slice it really thin and top it with some peppers and cilantro and serve it cold, and they eat theirs like that, and it almost has like a consistency of a cold vermicelli or a cold pasta. Wow. So there's different ways to cook pig ears, but it's always been as we say peasant food. That's what poor folks ate. Black folks started eating it in Mississippi because that's what the slave owners gave them. They didn't give them the choice cuts of meat. They gave them the pig ears, pig feet, pig tail, pig snout, things like that, and they figured out a way to cook it. In fact, Anthony Bourdain, when he came to our place, he talked all about how America has capitalized on peasant food. He went to New York and went to this fine dining establishment and got a pig ear appetizer, and it was a piece of a pig ear, and they diced it and garnished it and made it beautiful and charged $30 for it. Something that we once got for free.
Yeah, and that's true about a lot of things. Like anybody can cook. When you give the best ingredients to someone, you give somebody a beef tenderloin and truffles and everything else. I mean, anybody can go in the kitchen and make that work. It takes real skill to take something like a pig ear and turn it into something delicious, and that's why it speaks to how long you guys have been doing it that people have found it. You mentioned Anthony Bourdain. That's a guy I have a lot of respect for, a guy I wish was still around today. I would love to see what he would be doing today.
Yeah.
What was that meeting like?
Well, first of all, getting over the shock and awe of just being in the room with Anthony Bourdain was amazing. We've been fortunate enough to sit with and do shows with most, if not all, of Food Network, all of History Channel. We've even been featured on Game Day,
Yeah.
But he was amazing. But the thing is, you can tell he had something going on. Mm-hmm. Most people, most of the Food Network stars, when you visit with them, you got a chance to spend a lot of time with them between sets or between shoots. Anthony Bourdain would come and he'd do his segment with you, and then he'd leave and go in the trailer until it was time to shoot again. He'd come back out. Not much small talk.
That's surprising, considering. But maybe it's part of the fact that he talks so much on camera,
right,
that he just likes to have those moments. But that's a guy you were listing off the parts of the pig. You could have gone deeper. He'll eat anything.
He will. Even you've heard of Andrew Zimmern?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Bizarre Foods.
Yeah,
he's come down twice. And what was amazing about him was, he'll eat anything too. I mean, he definitely
you're right up his alley, yeah.
But what he said was, though, that he came to Mississippi not because a pig ear was bizarre, but an African-American restaurant being in business almost 100 years, that was bizarre. So that's why he came to Mississippi.
We got a lot more to talk about with Geno here. We definitely want to hear about the college game day experience. Plus, I have a question about food history that I hope you're able to answer, because I don't know the answer to it. I just know that it's a fact about our great state and all the great food that we eat here. These interviews with the local restaurateurs are brought to you by our friends over at Visit Jackson. We want you to come down here to the capital city and check out the incredible restaurant scene, from historic places like Geno's Big Apple Inn to a lot of the new restaurants around town. You got awesome restaurants all over the city of Jackson, serving up every kind of food imaginable. And whatever you want to eat, they've got it in Jackson's. But please come check us out here in the capital city. Visit Jackson, bringing us this interview. We'll be back in just a minute with Geno Lee from the Big Apple Inn here on Sports Talk Mississippi.
From the Seabrook Sports Talk Mississippi, to the junction, in the Grove, and to the top. Sports Talk Mississippi on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. Still visiting with Geno Lee, fourth-generation owner of the Big Apple Inn in Jackson, Mississippi. So we are a sports show. That is what we do. And, a lot of our audience may not know who Anthony Bourdain is or any of those guys, but they know what College Game Day is. And what was that process like, getting featured on our favorite sports premier pregame show?
It's hard to describe that. It was first of all, it was a surprise. We were actually filming an episode. Oh, goodness, what was that show called? Deep South? John T. Edge?
With the SEC network.
Yes.
John T. Edge, yeah.
And John T. Edge, yeah. And we were filming an episode of that, and all of a sudden they called and said, what is it? The sports show? The
College Game Day.
College Game Day. ESPN Game Day, that's what it was. They want to pick it up, and they want to come down here. And it was like, okay, send them on down. It was a complete surprise. We didn't really know it happened until the night before. But it was huge, and I didn't realize how huge until everywhere I went in town for the next few days. I saw you on ESPN Game Day. So it was neat.
Did you feed the whole crew there?
The camera crew and
Yeah.
they all ate there.
Because
right.
Borkey was very upset that you didn't show up with a tray full of sandwiches for him today. He was, I'm up here in Starkville. I couldn't have enjoyed one, but Borkey was like, he didn't bring any food. What's going on here?
Yeah. Just if you would have let me know, I would have brought some.
Oh, if you're future guest, if you're listening, bring it on. So this is my question. I'm from Vicksburg originally, so this side of the state. I never really would consider Jackson the Delta, but if you want to call it that, that's fine. Mm-hmm. Tamales are a staple of the Mississippi Delta.
Right.
Why?
The end of slavery.
Yeah.
That's what brought Mexican cuisine to Mississippi. The plantation owners and sharecroppers, they had to have somebody pick their cotton fields after slavery ended, and Mexican migrant workers came to Mississippi, and with them they brought their cuisine. And what's neat is they would have a group of people working in the field, and somebody would be on the side of the field making lunch. And a tamale was something that could easily be made, and because a tamale is made with something called a corn matzo. Now, here in Mississippi, we don't have a lot of corn matzo, which is the corn flour. We have lots of corn meal because we deep fry catfish and we deep fry everything in it. We deep fry water if we could. But
he's right. This is the funny part.
Yeah.
He's absolutely correct.
So they would make their tamale, and what's neat is about a Mexican Mississippi tamale is different. And wherever you go all over the Delta, you have a Mississippi tamale.
Yeah.
In fact, there's a tamale trail that you can take all over the state of Mississippi. And that's how my great-grandfather got here. He came over here initially to pick cotton. Mm-hmm. But his body wasn't made up for cotton picking. He was like 4'11" tall and 4'11" wide. And that Mississippi heat didn't agree with him. So he ended up jumping on the train and came to Jackson and made his tamales on the side of the road, then opened the Big Apple Inn in 1939.
It worked out for him.
It did.
In the end, for sure.
Yeah.
When you think about, you mentioned a lot of celebrities have come in, Food Network shows, but then there's your regulars. There's the people who come into the Big Apple Inn, once a week, maybe once a day. You've got people like that. If you don't have to give a name or anything, but who's your oldest customer? Do you know who your oldest customer is? Somebody you've seen the most over these years?
Well, we have some people that come through. I don't know a lot of their names, but they make sure they tell you how long they've been eating with you. My wife wants me to start a table talk at the Big Apple Inn. Mm-hmm. And start recording some of these stories because everybody has a Big Apple Inn story. In fact, that's one thing whenever we do TV shows or Food Network shows or Travel Channel shows, I always want to talk to the people and ask for their Big Apple Inn story, and they always have a Big Apple Inn story. And we do have some that say they've been coming down for 70, 80 years, and they might be 90 years old. And we do have some that come every single day. So yeah, we have a generational business, and we don't advertise. It's just one of those things that's been passed down word of mouth, and we're feeding 4th and 5th generations right now.
In Big Apple, the name. I mean, when you hear that, you immediately think New York City, but that's not it, is it?
Not at all. In fact, in the early 30s and the mid 30s. My great-grandfather, they called him Big John. His son called himself kind of a hipster kind of guy. Hipster has a different meaning these days, but he used to wear his long jacket zoot suit and a big hat with a feather on it, and had a gold watch hung on a gold chain, and he would swing around. The kind of a hip guy. And he would go to the juke joints at night, and back then, Cab Calloway was the biggest thing out. Hidey, 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 hi, ho, that kind of stuff. Yeah. And they would do a dance called the Big Apple Inn. I mean, not the Big Apple Inn, the Big Apple. And you get the woman, you swing her this side, swing her in this side, over your head, and you've probably seen the dance before, but that was his favorite dance, called the Big Apple, and he named the place after his favorite dance.
We've got somebody on the C Spire text line, Geno. They want to know, do you ship tamales in-state?
No, we don't. We used to ship nationwide until last year. Now nobody ships overnight. We used to use USPS, and they used to ship overnight. Now they have 2 or 3 day shipping, and smoke or pig ear has been sitting in a cooler for 3 days won't be very good. And FedEx does ship overnight, but it's just so expensive. So, in fact, something, if we were going to ship a package to, let's say, California, shipping alone would be $125 roughly. Oh. And that's for maybe just 40 smokes. But people would pay it. But now it's about $3.50 to ship. Yeah, so we stopped shipping. And in-state, it would be it's not worth it.
You've got all these staples on your menu. Have you branched out and regretted branched out, adding something to your menu that you ultimately, you think that in hindsight, I'm glad we didn't keep that around?
No, we don't add anything.
Never once.
Nope. We have 6 things on our menu, and that's it. We have smokes and pig ears. And smokes and ears, and then we have hamburgers, hot dogs, and bologna, and we have hot tamales, and that's it. And our thing is, if you want some good chicken, you know where you're going to go. You have your favorite chicken spot. When you want good pizza, you know where to go. When you want a good burger, you know where to go. But where are you going to go get a smoke and an ear? So what we do is we do smokes and ears, we do them well, and we stick with that. We stick with our staples.
So this is good. You're the first one to come on with us. We're going to be talking about all these great restaurants in Jackson. What's a restaurant in Jackson you like to eat at other than the Big Apple Inn?
You're not going to get me in trouble. No, really. I mean, there's so many great restaurants. It just depends on what you have a taste for, because whatever you have a taste for, you can find it in Jackson. There are some guys that like you can never go wrong when you want great Italian. Chaz at Polito's, he's going to always give you the best Italian. And he's always going to give you something extra, too. It's like, Geno, I just thought about this. And he puts it down in front of me. You never leave Polito's hungry, because he's going to keep bringing you stuff to just try out. Same way as right across the street at Elvy's. Elvy's is the same way. The food is magnificent. It's always going to try something different. And we have so many chefs in Jackson that push the edge. You have people like Derek Emerson. He owns 100 restaurants? It seems that way sometimes. He got rid of Walker's, but now he has Mesa Matza, and he has Kate and Local 463 and Sacred Ground Barbecue, and who knows? I think he has about 4 more under his belt right now. He's thinking about, who knows? Bravos. There's just so many. It's hard to just put my finger on it.
Jackson's not a big place. This is a very small capital city. Even though it's our biggest city, it's still not a big city. And yet, I tell people this: our food scene in our capital city is pretty remarkable for the size. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think that Jackson's food scene, it's one of those things that's been kind of just slept on. Whenever Jackson has been promoted, I think, we talk about our civil rights history, because we have a great civil rights history. Or that's when I say great history. I have a big civil rights history.
We have a deep civil rights history.
That's better than great.
Yeah.
We have a very big, what else do we have? We have just so much, a Civil War history here in Jackson. The food scene, I think, has been slept on. And now people are starting to realize it, and people are actually coming to Mississippi to try new things and open up new things. And we have chefs that are branching out. My goodness, we have James Beard Award-winning chefs and Michelin Award chefs. Jackson has been slept on for the food scene. That's why I just love this whole Jackson's Table thing. It's going to highlight our restaurants and highlight our chefs. And I think this is something that's going to branch out, if nationwide, if not worldwide.
Really appreciate you joining us here today. This has been a fantastic history lesson about our capital city. On top of, now I'm hungry, which I got 3 more hours of radio to do before I can go eat anything. So maybe we need to schedule these a little later in the show. I don't know if that's the case or not, because, man, it's going to be a tough few hours. But, really appreciate you. Let everybody know, everybody knows where the Big Apple Inn is, but that's just part of the gig.
And there's
right?
2 now.
Yeah, let us know where we can come eat a pig ear sandwich.
Well, we have our original location, which is on Ferry Street, in the middle of downtown Ferry Street. That's 509 North Ferry Street. And I have another one in North Jackson. I call that my new location. We've only been open there 21 years. Yeah. And that one's 4487 North State Street. But just Google Big Apple Inn and go to either one.
Sounds great. Geno Lee, the Big Apple Inn, a true Jackson and Mississippi institution. Thanks so much for joining us here today. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, when we come back, Borkey's Hate Watch is not going very well. Harry Kane, the best striker in the world, has scored again.
Stop.
And we'll talk about that when we come back. Plus, we've got a top 5 to get to. We've got college football fix to get to. We've got a team of the 100 teams and 100 days to get to. It's a big show. And I'm going to be hungry for the rest of it. So if you get me mad, I'm going to be hangry about it. So just be prepared for that. Back in just a minute here on Sports Talk Mississippi.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Sports. On your radio and in the game. Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. So
Borkey's hate watch is going well again.
It's okay now.
Yeah,
we're okay.
What a half of football between England and Croatia. 2-2 at the half mark. A late equalizer there from the Croatians to go make it 2-2. What a game.
Man, there were so many narratives about our stadiums and stuff. And, like, the stadiums look amazing. The crowds have been unbelievable.
Everything's working the way we want it to.
It's working beautifully.
Yeah, it's good times.
I mean, Messi has a hat trick last night in Arrowhead, which is a sentence I don't know if you could ever say.
You had the three of the biggest stars yesterday combined for 7 goals.
Jeez.
Mbappe, Haaland, and Messi.
And now here locally, here's another opportunity on Friday to continue to capture the momentum. So now with the ratings survey, et cetera, being complete, our game Friday against Paraguay was the most watched USA soccer game of all time. And they played great. I hate the kickoff time. I don't know why on Friday at 3 Eastern was the time slot we chose, but that is what we chose. The Socceroos are pretty fired up that American pundit called the group easy 6 months ago. But it's a team that you are better than, and here's your chance to kind of continue to capture the attention of the country here. Pulisic not training with the team, but he is training. So we'll see if he can go on Friday. I sure hope he can. Because you mentioned, I mean, again, Messi had a hat trick last night. Pulisic played great in the first half last Friday. You just want wins. Wins is all that matters. But winning with him doing the stuff would help even more with the attention to Q rating, et cetera. Because that's a guy that casual people know the most on this team. If you ask a random sports fan, name one USA Soccer player, that is the guy that they will name first.
For sure.
So him, coming back and playing and being that guy to do those things will also go a long way. It helps when your stars perform. Breaking news more at 11.
There you go. I think that, I've said, since the beginning, since I knew what the group was, I was like, the Americans should win this group. I don't know about easily. I don't know that anything's ever easy in the World Cup, but they should win the group.
Especially now after what they did in Game 1.
Yeah, they're going to have a goal differential that's going to really help them. I mean, if the next 2 games are 1-0 or 1-1, you're still +3. You're going to be fine. So that's good. They're in a good spot. I'm not too terribly worried about it. My worries will begin in the knockout round because I want to see who they're paired up with.
Right. The odds, the most likely would be what? Belgium, right, is the most likely opponent.
That's a team, honestly, that they did not play well. You talked about the big teams not playing well. Belgium is one of them. And that's a team that you could beat. Mm-hmm. You could beat them.
There's an off chance it's Argentina, and that's no.
Now, that's what you don't want. You don't want that team.
No.
You don't want that team.
So good stuff. When we come back, by the way, somebody says soccer. I love this. This says soccer equals communism. The communist countries are the worst at it.
Yeah,
they're the worst at it.
I had this discussion earlier today on Mornings without Richard Cross, and I said it like this: I don't really like eggplant, so I don't. When people are talking about eggplant, I don't just interject. Yeah, well, I hate eggplant. Eggplant's for commies. I don't do that, all right? If you don't like soccer, that's fine. Let those of us who enjoy it and enjoy the World Cup enjoy it.
Especially when it's on American soil and the American team is actually compelling, it's, little patriotism didn't hurt you.
Here we go again. It's like, guys, tell me what you like so I can crap on it. What do you like? Whatever you like sucks. I'll just go ahead and tell you. This guy's going to commit. I'm a big Mississippi State fan. Well, guess what? Football, not great.
Yeah, 28 million people. 28 million people last Friday.
If you're not watching, you're kind of the outlier at this point. So.
That's a wild number.
It is.
That was bigger than every NBA Finals game.
Uh-huh.
That is bigger than 99.9% of college football games. Yeah. That is bigger than the overwhelming majority of NFL regular season games.
Speaking of TV ratings, did you see the silliness that came out today from a political standpoint?
No.
Somebody from like the Republican National Committee said that more people watched the 250 event than the Super Bowl. And somebody came back and was like, if every Paramount subscriber had watched, it's still 50 million people less than the Super Bowl. Why are we making stuff up, guys?
Yeah, why lie? Because it did well. It did really well. So why lie?
I don't know. So weird.
Nothing ever beats the Super Bowl. Ever. Yeah. Nothing.
Yeah.
Top 5 when we come back. Think about it, think on it, and send it in. I was glad that I came up with this one earlier because this one could be fun. Your top 5 favorite non-mainstream sporting events to watch. So the Super Bowl doesn't count. The College World Series doesn't count. Those are mainstream things. Off the radar, non-mainstream sporting events that you love to watch. We will do that after the news. Sports Talk Mississippi. Don't go anywhere.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Sports Talk Mississippi.
You know I love sports.
On Super Talk Mississippi.
Mississippi. I'm Brian Hadad. He's Michael Borkey. We're in the Pearl River Resort Studios. If you want to join the show, do it on the C Spire text line, 601-879-4395. A lot of you guys are already doing that as we get set for this top 5. This weekend, you're going to be mowing your grass. I just need to go ahead and let you know that. It was raining a little bit last weekend. Maybe you didn't get out there. This weekend, you're going to have to do that. And I don't care if you've got a big, huge tract of land or if you've got, if you're just a homeowner with a normal-sized yard. Ag Up has got the mower for you. And if you got that big job in front of you, a John Deere compact tractor may be the way to go. Ag Up can hook you up with one right now, 0% financing on all 1 through 4 series models. If you're a first-time landowner or if you're a veteran, you've been doing it a long time, but it's time to trade up, Ag Up's team knows how to help you find the right machine for your property and, more importantly, your budget. Stop by your local Ag Up location. There's 15 of them throughout the state, so there's one nearby. Or you can visit agup.com. Ag Up Equipment and John Deere. Built for what's next. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details. What's up on Sports Talk Mississippi, brought to you by Ag Up. We're about to jump into our top 5. Borky's got us on the top 5 non-mainstream sporting events.
Yeah. They also just showed a group of Croatian fans because they're in Dallas wearing cowboy hats, and yeah. I just love that so much. But, yeah, your top 5 non-mainstream favorite sporting events to watch. So do not say the Masters. Do not say the Super Bowl. Off the radar, non-mainstream sporting events that you love to watch.
This is tough because it's
hard.
They're kind of, some of them are kind of on the radar, but they're not on like the national radar as much. Okay, so am I going first?
Go for it. Yeah. All right. What's your number 5?
Are you familiar with Run It?
I am not.
All right, Run It is a sport that I only watch highlights. You'll never catch me watching the whole thing. Basically, it's 2 guys are about 20 yards apart. And the thing is, one guy has the ball and one guy is the tackler, and they have to run straight at each other. They're not allowed to cut. You're not allowed to hurdle. You got to run straight.
Oh, I've seen these videos.
These videos are incredible. I mean, it's just concussion central out there, but I enjoy watching them. It's like football with no blockers, but you're not allowed to evade. I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah, the lines that they run in are about shoulder length apart. Like,
right,
you
you can't. There's nowhere to go. You've got to go through your other guy. It's like an Oklahoma drill with no offensive linemen. Put it that way.
Or pads.
And it is brutal. But man, there's some fun hits on there. I get a kick out of it. I probably shouldn't, but I do.
Somebody's gonna die doing this.
Probably.
I'm surprised Dana White's not invested in this. He did the slap thing, right? That's what he's
true. Yeah, power slap. Yeah.
I don't even know.
That was an honorable mention. Power slap.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Nice. I don't even know if they air it anymore, but when I was growing up, one of my favorite things to watch was on ESPN late at night, the World's Strongest Man competitions.
Oh, yeah.
The Atlas Stones, all that stuff. Those were so much fun to watch. The guys pulling big semi trucks, throwing that hammer throw, right? Where they throw it over the
Yeah.
Gosh, that was so much fun to watch. Those guys were freaks, man. I used to know all of their names, too. Like, we were really into the World's Strongest Man. I don't even know if ESPN airs it anymore, but when I was a kid, that was like a staple of my childhood. Staying up late, waiting until my parents fell asleep, sneaking off into the bonus room and watching the World's Strongest Man on ESPN.
All right, very good. Number 4, this is an event that was not mainstream. Then it became very mainstream. It is no longer mainstream at this point. It's gone back to being under the radar. I love to play poker. I like to watch the World Series of Poker. I am one of those people who will watch people play cards on television. I get a kick out of that. I like to play myself. I have a lot of fun when I do it. I enjoy that. I was watching when Chris Moneymaker won that, and sort of which is the greatest name maybe in the history of events. Like, imagine if Tommy Touchdown was the Super Bowl MVP. And I've always gotten a kick out of it. I've never gotten the chance to play against any of those big pros, but I have played in some big rooms, and I've enjoyed it. I get a kick out of the World Series of Poker. I'm going to put that. I don't know if it's not very mainstream, but that's definitely where I'm going to put it.
Yeah, so that is on one of mine. I remember, Doyle Brunson, Phil Hellmuth.
Oh yeah,
those guys.
Man,
that was awesome. My number 4, I will still to this day occasionally watch competitive paintball. We had a really robust paintball facility near where I grew up, and I mean they had it all, right? They had the speedball courses with the blow up things, but they also had like acres of forests that were very lightly fenced that you had to do like the long form paintball fights. I loved it so much. It still shows up on my algorithm like a live YouTube feed of this paintball, and I'll hit play and I'll sit there and watch it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I miss those days. And yeah. So
don't look at the screen.
Gosh darn it!
What a goal! What a goal by Jude Bellingham. Man, this is a hell of a game.
Do they sing the Beatles at him?
I don't know if they do or not. He plays in Spain, so probably not. Plays for Real Madrid. Speaking of soccer, that's I'm going to go for my number 3. As you guys know, I'm a man that embraces rivalry. All right, State Ole Miss, Saints, Falcons, Giants, Dodgers. In soccer, my favorite rivalry, and it's Chelsea-Tottenham. Now I know that Tottenham their main rival is not Chelsea. It's Arsenal, all right? Imagine if State and Ole Miss were 4 miles apart. That's Tottenham-Arsenal. I've heard that described as it's not necessarily like Packers-Bears, more that it's like Israel and Palestine between those two. They really don't like each other. Chelsea is not Tottenham's premier rival, but I hate Tottenham. And Chelsea tends to beat Tottenham. They have only lost to them once at home, ever. And they've won, I think, the last 4 at the new. I don't think they've ever lost at Tottenham Stadium, the new Tottenham Stadium. I could be wrong about that. To the point where Tottenham Stadium is located on White Hart Lane. Chelsea people call it 3-point lane because we're always going to go get 3 points when we play there. We're always going to get the win. I love the Chelsea-Tottenham game. It's one of my favorite ones. I enjoy beating them very, very much. Is it mainstream? Maybe.
That counts as not mainstream.
All right, we'll put it because it's not like it's not like Barcelona, Real Madrid. It's not like the Manchester Derby or anything like that.
I think that would even count here in America. I mean, people watch and stuff, but it's still not like your your national sports talk shows are not breaking down Tottenham Chelsea before the game.
No, I would hope not. No.
My number 3, the X Games.
Oh, okay.
I mean, and you remember back in the day too, Tony Hawk.
Oh, yeah.
Dave Mira, Bucky Lasik, Bob Burnquist, those guys, like way back in the day.
Yeah.
I loved that. One of my most prized possessions is a autographed Shaun White snowboard.
Oh, that's cool.
So the X Games and the Winter X Games, I guess you can loop like the Olympic stuff in there too because they do snowboarding and all that. But, man, the X Games were a lot of fun watching growing up. And I miss... the half pipe, and then they added in the big air and the street style and all that stuff. watching these guys do tricks that I don't even know what they're doing, really. It just looks
It's fun
awesome
to watch, though, yeah.
The X Games, I think they came to New Orleans last summer. I can't believe I didn't go, but they're still around. They're still doing their thing, but not mainstream, and I loved it.
All right. Number 2, if you don't want to call it a sport, that's fine. I don't care. AEW's Blood and Guts is my number 2.
That counts.
2 rings, a 15-foot-high enclosed steel cage, teams of 5. The match doesn't start until all 10 men are in the ring. 2 guys start, then every few minutes another guy comes in, and it just balances from each team. And then the match starts. There's a ton of blood. There's a lot of props, and it's only submission or surrender. No pinfall, no disqualification, no count out. I went and saw it live a few years ago. The match ended with a guy handcuffed to the cage, doused in gasoline, and a guy broke out a lighter and said, "I'm going to light you on fire if you don't quit." And he quit because it was that or that. So I get a huge kick out of it. It's called Blood and Guts. I love it. That's my number 2.
Mine is one that you took earlier, the World Series of Poker. That was another thing where you'd stay up and be on ESPN, and they'd be talking about a Doyle Brunson in his cowboy hat and those guys hanging around. And obviously Texas Hold'em was the one that really took off, but you had like the pot limit stuff and all of those that, I mean, they covered it all. Mm-hmm. They had hours of it you could sit there and watch. And I mean, we ended up playing poker like in early high school, like in our buddy's basement, and our parents let us because we didn't really have any money and we were just playing poker. But in hindsight, they probably shouldn't have let us do that. Yeah. But shout out ESPN for that. The World Series of Poker, number 2.
Yeah, like I said, I still go play poker at the casino. I've played in a couple of tournaments. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and if you know how to play, you can turn $100 into a full day's worth of entertainment. So that's how you have to look at it. Like, you think you go to the bar, right? You spend $100 at the bar, and maybe you get a couple hours. I can spend $100 at a poker tournament, and I can maybe be there for a long time. And they'll bring you drinks. Don't you worry. You can get all the drinks you want. Yeah. So that's how I'm going to look at it. I guess we'll do our number 1s when we come back. Mine, is it mainstream or not? I'm gonna have to make a case. I'm gonna have to argue for it not being super mainstream. I think. I don't know about Borkey. We will see. We'll do that when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi here with you on a Thunder and Lightning Wednesday, as Michael likes to call them. Back with you in just a minute.
Let's go. This is your new home for exclusive sports coverage here in the Magnolia State. Sports Talk Mississippi on SuperTalk Mississippi.
All right, we've done 4 of our top 5 favorite non-mainstream sporting events to watch. Number 1, Brian Hadad, you have to defend your honor on this one, apparently.
I may have to. It's the Egg Bowl.
You will have to defend your honor on this one. Like 5 million people watched it last year.
Well, I mean, yeah, but more people than that watched Chelsea Tottenham. I know that for a fact.
Here in the States?
Worldwide.
Yeah, but we're talking about here in the States.
Well, I mean, when you think about the last weekend of the college football season, how far down the list is the Egg Bowl, man? The Iron Bowl, Ohio State, Michigan is there. Florida State is happening. Texas A&M is happening. Georgia Tech is happening. All of these games are happening, and that's why we were glad to see the Egg Bowl kind of get a little shine by being the 11 a.m. Black Friday game. It was getting lost on Thursday night. It would absolutely get lost if it was on Saturday. It's just and I think that it's also underrated because when you ask people what is the most intense rivalry in college football, nobody says it. Like they'll always say the Iron Bowl or Ohio State, Michigan. I promise you it's not. I promise you it's the Egg Bowl. State and Ole Miss fans despise each other. We all know it. You can go on the text line and you can sit and try to defend yourself.
We do have to live with each other, though, and other fan bases
and Auburn and Alabama have a little bit of that. But the other thing is this. Auburn, Alabama had so much success through the years that it was kind of like, we can coexist. For decades, State and Ole Miss, all they had was better win that game. Now, it's kind of turned a little bit with Ole Miss recently. They're having success away from the Egg Bowl. They're having great seasons. But it's always this is the first year I could ever say in my life that the Egg Bowl is not the most important game of the season for Ole Miss. It is. It absolutely is not. This year, it's the LSU game. Yeah. But we're always there lurking. So I'm going with that.
That one might be a controversial one. We'll see if the texters, what they think.
Yeah.
The Indy 500. I do not watch IndyCar.
Oh, come on. Now, hold on. You're telling me mine is not. The Indy 500 is the most famous race in the world.
But it's not mainstream. Not here in the States.
No, I disagree. How many people watch that? Hold on. I need to know.
I don't think it was a particularly good year.
6.635 million viewers, which was down from 7 million a year ago. You can't. I'll let you have it, but how dare you, sir? How dare you? How dare you say mine was not under the radar? You're going to come up with the Indy 500.
Well, I mean, you're talking to a Mississippi audience about the Egg Bowl being not mainstream.
Wait, I'm nationally, it's not mainstream. It's not super mainstream.
Huh.
Are you rethinking? This is the problem is, like, I don't watch
It's
darts.
not a mainstream sporting event.
I don't watch darts. I don't watch billiards.
Yeah.
Like, I don't watch the lumberjack games. I mean, what do you want from me? It's the best I can do.
I don't consume IndyCar at all,
Yeah.
other than that. The visuals are amazing, the speed and all that. And my favorite part about it is when the race is going on. Now, people travel from other countries for it, so this stat isn't perfect, but about 1 out of every 1,000 Americans is at that race when it's going on. 1 out of every 1,000 people in the country are at the race when it's going on.
Yeah.
That's how big the venue is, and I love that. But I'll watch the Indy 500. I like the celebration with the milk at the end. I think that's a cool tradition.
Everybody's mad at us. They're saying we flubbed this, but that's so be it. I blame.
But these are things that we actually have to consume.
Right. Yeah.
You said,
I actually watched the things that we mentioned today.
I actually watched the Indy 500.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we did the best we could.
On the text line, ping pong. Somebody says.
Okay.
I don't know if this counts or not. Any country music awards show.
Sure. Yeah. Sporting event.
Is it though?
Yeah. Sure.
Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
I can't watch that.
Thanks, Brian. I have to clean my windshield from the drink I just spit out. Mornings without Richard Cross. Man. Curling is cool as well. I will watch curling. But I don't know if I could put that one in there or not, because I do think curling is so,
it's gotten a lot. It gets
popular online, where people talk about it so much that you can't help but not notice it. But again, I said Indy 500, so joke's on me.
Yeah.
Lucas says, slippery stairs. What is that?
I have no idea. I've never heard of it.
What is...
I mean, I assume it's what it is. It's stairs that are slippery and you try to get up them.
That is... They have a tour, actually, the summer tour, where you can participate in the slippery stairs if you'd like. They have a YouTube channel, and sure enough, that's what it is. It is, they have a set of stairs that are padded.
Should I have said the Starkville Derby was my number one?
Ooh, that would have been a good one.
Yeah, I should have done that.
How do you be a contestant on slippery stairs? Oh, you can't. I hate it. I'm going to sign you up for this.
Please don't. Why don't you sign up for it? You're young. If you slip and fall, you might not break a hip like I will.
American Ninja Warrior, arm wrestling, power slap, and darts. That's from Lucas in Union. I can't do power slap. I've seen a couple videos, and I can't watch this.
It's really brutal. It's tough.
Another vote for curling. Somebody says Daytona 500 and Indy 500. So we were on the.
I mean, those are not underrated though. I don't think those are. I mean, those are very mainstream.
Irish road racing and the Isle of Man road race. Have you seen the Isle of Man?
I have not.
That's something
Napoleon did.
Hey, that's something that you need to watch. It's a it's a motorcycle race, is what it is. Mountain course. So I've seen it, but to give you the information, because I can't say this off the top of my head, 200 blind turns in this 37-mile track.
Oh.
It is on the Isle of Man, hence the name. But these are straight up super bikes that are going unbelievably fast. I mean, average speeds of 130 miles an hour when they do this course. And it is considered the most dangerous race in the world. That's the average speed, by the way, 130 miles an hour. They go over 200 on this road course. And they did a documentary about it. It's pretty wild. First vote for cornhole on the text line here.
So that's not something I watch. I play. If you put a cornhole set out at the tailgate, I'll certainly jump in, but I'm not watching cornhole. I did watch like the World Series of Tag one time. It was just on, and I was like, "This is incredible." You ever watch that?
I have not.
Like they set up like an obstacle course, and you got it's tag. You know,
Extreme tag,
basically.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
The Timber Sports is my go-to for non-mainstream. Those were on ESPN as well.
Yeah.
The Lumberjack Challenge,
I'm a lumberjacker, baby.
I forget what they called it, but where you had to cut a slit in the tree and then put a board in and stand on that board and then go chop another one.
The log rolling when you're out there in the water. Yeah.
Oh, those are fun.
They're fun, yeah.
Any big-time boxing event where the best, actually, fights are the best. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen very often in boxing anymore.
Boxing is now an obscure sport. When I was growing up, boxing was huge. UFC has kind of replaced that.
I understand why it's replaced it, but boxing, when I was growing up, was kind of on its last leg in terms of the mainstream stuff. Mm-hmm. And there was something about a boxing match that felt more compelling to me than a UFC fight. They lasted longer.
Yeah, there's just like there's an air to it, an aura, I guess is what the kids would say, that you just don't have. Of just these two guys in the ring. You know, there's just something about it. I don't know what it is.
And they're not, I mean, you watch UFC fights, and some of them, these guys are spent just like kind of grappling for position on the ground, and it's like, okay.
This is not that. This is, we're punching. So, yeah. I get what you're saying.
Karate Combat. That's from Eric. I haven't seen that one yet. That's a good one.
Sounds good, yeah.
American Gladiators. The Pillow Fight Championship. That is a thing.
Take your word for it.
More votes for the Timber Sports, Lumberjack type stuff. Omega Ball. It's soccer with 3 goals and 3 teams.
That's something to think about. I wouldn't know how to make that work.
First vote for surfing. Remember, what was it, Kelly Slater?
Kelly Slater, yeah.
Yeah. Robert says disc golf. That is becoming, that's growing.
Yeah, huge.
You've got these tournaments that people have like actual galleries following them. Like legit pros that have fans and stuff in disc golf now. Somebody says, Chris Moneymaker lives about 5 minutes down the road from me in DeSoto County. No way.
That's wow. That's crazy.
Do you think he listens to Sports Talk Mississippi?
I hope so. If you're listening, Chris, text the show, 601-879-4395, and be happy to have you on sometime.
We would love to have you on, Mr. Moneymaker. We'll be right back. Wrap up your top 5s, most or your favorite off-the-radar sporting events. We'll be back.
From the Seabrook. This is Sports Talk Mississippi, right here on SuperTalk.fm, the SuperTalk Mississippi app, and always live on your local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station.
All right, a few more of your favorite non-mainstream sporting events is part of our top 5. We got a vote that included the hot dog eating contest from World's Strongest Man, but national competitive cheerleading.
Okay.
Supreme athletes, the kind of stuff that they can do. Soapbox racing and axe throwing were also included on his list.
I've done that. I've done axe throwing.
Jeff says, I saw Tony Hawk on TV the other day. He looked rougher than Sam Elliott, rode hard and put up.
Calm down. Don't say it.
Yeah.
Really got to read those.
He's old, though. For his age, he looks great. He's 58 years old.
Yeah. I don't think he looks that bad at all.
Apparently, he does have a long history of when people say they recognize him in public. Mm-hmm. He'll say, I get that all the time.
Yeah, as one should.
God, what in terms of ambassadors for a sport,
yeah,
he's up there and like kind of an OG. I mean, people skateboarded before Tony Hawk, but
nobody thinks of anybody but him. He's the first name that everybody thinks of when they think about skateboarding.
In the longevity, in the skill, but also just kind of like every interview, you come away thinking, that guy's cool.
Yeah.
And he had been at it for years, and they're just cool dude, living life, skateboarding every day. Still got it in his 50s. He's something. Sumo wrestling. That's our first vote of that for today. My son asked me about sumo wrestling yesterday. He said, why do they wear undies? I was like, buddy, I have no idea.
It's what they wear. It's just tradition.
It's their thing for sure. Somebody says in Germany and Finland they do a lot of shooting games with full military gear and on a lot of acres with snipers and mines and things like that.
For German, I would go with that pretzel cutting competition I keep seeing in my Instagram feed. You ever seen that?
I have not.
It's like they have a pretzel, like a big soft pretzel, and it's like you have to try to cut it in half and get the halves as equal as possible, and they weigh them. It's a real thing over in Germany, apparently.
Brian says billiards was elite on ESPN. Allison Fisher was probably more enjoyable to watch than the men. I like the trick shots were cool.
Yeah,
the trick shot competitions. Do they don't air any of this stuff anymore, do they?
I don't think so. Yeah, no, that would take away from the time they could have Stephen A. Smith talking about whatever nonsense he's talking about.
Yeah, you're going to love this. Today,
he said
on First Take
about France
that he thinks that this might be the year where France can finally come through and win the World Cup.
There you
go. Here's a problem with that, though.
Yeah, they've already
done that.
They won it in 2018. On top of France has won like 3 World Cups. So.
But I bet Stephen A. Smith is kicking himself, though, because we have finally reached the pinnacle of take, and it cannot be beat. I forget who it was.
Oh, I saw it.
Called the Larry O'Brien Trophy. The one that they give to the NBA champion, the team that wins the championship. He called it a participation trophy because you've had 8 different champions in the last 8 years.
Right, because there's no more dynasty.
Therefore, it's a participation trophy.
It's a participation trophy.
To win the championship.
That's a guy who woke up this morning and was like, what can I say that would be the dumbest thing ever? And he achieved it.
You can't outtake that, though.
No.
Got to give him credit. There can be no more of a ridiculous take than the championship is a participation trophy. Can't beat it.
Yeah.
Really can't. Jim says NHRA drag racing, 345 miles per hour and 1,000 feet.
All right.
What happens to the tires when they first get started is really cool.
It's cool, yeah.
Somebody says, I've been at Talladega and a night race at Bristol. Bristol was the best time I've ever had watching a non-traditional sport.
All right.
Benny says, I missed the Arena Football League and the NFL Quarterback Challenge. The Arena Football League in its heyday was really cool.
It was elite. And the NFL Quarterback Challenge was really cool, too. I do wish they'd bring that back.
Was it the Philadelphia Soul, the team that Bon Jovi owned?
Yes.
The black uniforms with the note on the helmet? Gosh, I remember that. Somebody says, flat track motorcycle racing, robot battle bots. There you go.
Oh, battle bots was fun, yeah. That's a good call.
He says Barbecue Wars is number 4. Slap Fights was his 3. And then he has Mississippi State softball, number 5. That absolutely counts. Softball, while popular, definitely not mainstream. That counts.
Barbecue Wars is the one that got me.
There's a Netflix show, the Great American Barbecue Challenge or something like that.
Yeah.
That's a fun show. One of the judges, oh gosh, what's her name? Hey, Dad. She's a barbecue
She's from Mississippi.
chef. Yeah,
Melissa Cookston.
That's it.
Yeah, I've eaten at a restaurant up in South Haven. It's a surprise. It's really good.
She was born for that too, by the way, with the name of Cookston.
What did we have earlier? What was the name we had earlier? We talked about like if Tommy touchdown. What was the name? Chris Moneymaker.
Moneymaker, yes, the poker player.
Chris Moneymaker and Melissa Cookston. You'll never believe what they do.
Oh, I'm finally catching up to the Power 4 college football is mainstream. You guys botched that last one.
Yeah.
Somebody says Tour de France. I was huge on the Tour de France, or France, if you're American.
France.
When you had all of the Lance Armstrong thing going on, he was an icon until he was a fraud. Mm-hmm. But also, a guy from my hometown was on his team. George Hincapie was his name. Mm-hmm. And he was like the number 2 on that U.S. Postal Service team. And he was a big star in my hometown because, somebody from your hometown's doing something cool everybody watches. So, I watched my share of those back in the day as well. A couple votes for Little League World Series. That's coming in a few weeks, right?
I believe that's correct, yeah.
I do think we've lost the plot on the Little League World Series when you've got betting lines on it. I think...
Yeah, it's a bit much.
We cannot bet on the 12-year-old baseball. That's okay that we don't do that. A few more. George says, I'm 75, never watched the Indy 500 even once in my life. Give it a shot one day.
Yeah.
It's a cool venue. The venue really makes it. Every now and then arm wrestling. Darts is absolutely electric, insane crowds.
Yeah.
Somebody says banana ball. I hate to tell you.
That's as mainstream as
you have children.
If you've got 80,000 people showing up to watch the game, that's mainstream.
Somebody says, I like soccer. My son played through college. I hear more soccer on your channel than even the Nashville channels, and we have an MLS team. Yeah. If you're doing sports radio and you're not at least mentioning the World Cup, you're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong.
You're just doing it wrong.
It's the biggest event in the world right now. Especially here in Mississippi. Once Ole Miss got out of the College World Series, that's it until September for local sports. So try to have some fun with it.
It's a great poll, by the way. Reference, hey, Dad, I'll see if you'll get this one for sure. But guy said, gonna have to break out the obscure sports quarterly.
Yes, I do. I do get it, yes.
From Dodgeball, if you don't get the reference.
ESPN, the Ocho. Sport doesn't build character, it reveals it.
Somebody says the Formula One Grand Prix, kind of boring to watch on TV, but incredible in person.
F1 is something that you would have said was not mainstream, but it has become mainstream, very much so over the past few years.
Ooh, somebody says dog agility. Those are cool, the jumping dogs and the sporting dogs.
I got you, yeah.
Let's see. There's, of course, a lot of repeat. Somebody says non-Olympic swimming. So you watch swimming.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, they have.
I know I've seen high school swimmers and stuff. I know they have high school swimming teams.
They have in college too, and then you have every year. I think you have a world championship event. You've got the stuff that essentially keeps the athletes sharp until the Olympics.
Yeah.
That happens. Somebody says the wiffle ball championship. There's a really popular YouTube channel that does wiffle ball.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they make a killing just airing their backyard wiffle ball games on YouTube. Motocross, that's our first vote for motocross today.
Yeah, nobody else has said that, yeah.
CrossFit Games, somebody mentions. Also, is there a firefighter competition? There actually is. Yes, there is.
Yeah. Yeah, there is.
Bassmaster Elite Series, we have not mentioned that yet today.
We were there.
Running of the Bulls. Collection of just the dumbest people on earth. You really don't get dumber than...
Yeah, you don't. So you got no desire to head to Spain and do that?
I would watch it, but I don't want to watch the end because they do slowly kill the bulls in the arena.
Kill the bulls, yeah.
And it's like I don't want to see a bull get tortured like that. I'm good there. Cricket, first mention of cricket today.
That's a wicked googly.
I've tried once. I can't. I've tried.
I just don't understand the game.
I don't understand it at all. That's your top 5. Really good stuff. Good submissions. I keep thinking back to my middle school and high school days, watching late night ESPN2 with some of this stuff. So, really good stuff. Appreciate you guys. We'll get to the countdown of 100 teams in 100 days when we come back. We're going to go to Texas when we return.
You can be a part of Sports Talk Mississippi. 888-808-8637 on Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. It's time to get to the countdown of 100 teams in 100 days.
This day is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. This day is bananas.
100 teams in 100 days.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go! It's the final countdown.
Team number 73 on the countdown of 100 teams in 100 days comes out of San Antonio, Texas. Of UTSA. They played the Alamo Dome. You guys remember the Alamo Dome?
I remember the Alamo.
Yeah, and the Dome. It's
Don't ever ask about the basement.
I don't understand that reference.
This kid here doesn't understand the reference. Don't worry about it. Continue.
The Alamo Dome. I've actually been to a game there. I've been to an Alamo Bowl in the Alamo Dome. That is where UTSA plays their games. Generally speaking, they don't have the upper decks open for their games, but a passionate fan base nonetheless. Jeff Traylor, their head coach, he was a guy not too terribly long ago that was a hot name in coaching. He is a Texas guy. He's from a place called Gilmer, Texas. No idea where that is. Played tight end at Stephen F. Austin. Got his coaching start in the high school ranks and was awesome as a high school head coach. Coached at Texas and SMU as an assistant, and then got the head coaching job at UTSA. And after his third season, he went 7-5, 12-2, 11-3, including a conference championship. There was a lot of talk that Jeff Traylor would be the kind of guy that would take over at a Texas or a Texas A&M should those jobs come open. He was possibly a candidate for some other places for whatever reason that didn't work out. And then he stopped winning the way that he was. A 9-4 in 2023, a 7-6 in each of the last 2 years with a 4-4 conference record. Here's how it happened last year. They lost to A&M in the season opener, lost to Texas State, beat Incarnate Word and Colorado State. They beat the Rams by 1 point. Weird loss at Temple by a touchdown before beating Rice by approximately 1 billion points, 61-13 the final there. Lost badly at North Texas, but remember they beat Tulane. That was a weird loss for the Green Wave last year. Could have knocked them out of the playoffs. It did not, but that was the thought at the time. They lost at USF. They beat Charlotte and East Carolina before losing the season finale at home to Army, but they did beat Florida International in the Serve Pro First Responders Bowl to finish the season 7-6.
Who could forget?
I mean, I watched every snap. It was riveting football. They opened the season with UTRGV, University of Texas Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah,
do you know the mascot?
They played state in baseball not that long ago. Are they like the Renegades or something?
The Vaqueros, I believe, is how you pronounce that.
My bad.
I took Spanish in college, but I didn't really take Spanish in college. Then they go on the road to Texas State and Texas in consecutive weeks before hosting Colorado State. They go on the road to Rice. They host USF and Navy before making that return trip to New Orleans. Have an off week. Go to FAU, host North Texas, go to UAB, and host Tulsa to end the season for UTSA. But more importantly, the dining options in San Antonio.
You're not going to believe this. It's a barbecue restaurant.
I figured it would be Mexican.
That either one of those would have gone. But it's Pinkerton's Barbecue. I have eaten at a Pinkerton's Barbecue location in Houston. It is delicious. We're getting the full tray here. We're getting brisket, prime brisket, I might add, beef ribs, pork ribs. You can get them glazed or dry rubbed. Turkey, chicken thighs, 3 kinds of sausage. I'm sorry, 4 kinds. 4 kinds of sausage. I'm telling you, and then we got duck and sausage jambalaya, rosemary bacon, mac and cheese, jalapeno cheese rice, beans, of course, and then for dessert, I don't know about you, but I'm getting a big old helping of Aunt Ruby's blueberry cobbler. That sounds delightful. This is a place I would absolutely go out of my way to eat. The one I had in Houston was fantastic. They had General Sal's pork belly burnt-ins when I went. Unbelievable how good they were. If you're ever in San Antonio, by all means, I give you the highest recommendation to check out Pinkerton's Barbecue and tell them that Hadad and Borkey sent you.
That does sound really
good. That sounds pretty good.
That does sound really good.
Yeah.
Good stuff there. So team number 73 on the countdown, UTSA. After the news, we will get to your college football fix. Dabo talking Pete Golding again with a different energy this time, though. We'll get to some of that and more with you. We're in the Pearl River Resort studio. Hey, I know there's a chance that we get some weather this weekend, some rain, but you want to go play Dancing Rabbit. Hey, the rain's going to help the golf course anyway, right? You know it's going to be in great condition. Go by, have a Mississippi staycation. You can eat good, you can play good, you can have a great time playing 2 great 18-hole courses, all at the Pearl River Resort. PearlRiverResort.com, that's the website. You can see all of their entertainment as well that's on the schedule. Check them out there. College football fix when we come back.
Your home Sports Talk Mississippi on Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back. Hour number 3, Sports Talk Mississippi. So glad that you guys are with us. I'm Michael Borkey. He is Brian Hadad. And this is the College Football Fix.
The College Football Fix is driven by your Mississippi Ford dealers. Built Ford Tough. That's the best-selling truck in America. The Ford F-150. If you're in the market right now, if you're looking for a new truck, don't waste any of your precious time. Just go to your local Mississippi Ford dealer today. Thank you for your attention. This matters.
Chris Lowe is doing a lot of just getting quotes from coaches this offseason and talked to Dabo Swinney about a lot of stuff, including, the bad year that they had. Is he confident that they're going to get the program back on track? That kind of stuff. But he was also, again, asked about losing long-tenured Clemson Tiger Luke Farrelly to Ole Miss via transfer portal. And remember, back in January, Dabo gave the scathing press conference talking about receipts and the NCAA needs to get involved and stop this and all that stuff. It was very intense from the Clemson head coach. Not too terribly long ago, Clemson was given the opportunity to provide said receipts because of a Freedom of Information Act request that they denied. And now, Dabo Swinney said to Chris Lowe, quote, "I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble." More. It's not about a certain player or anything like that. It's more, can we do this? Is this allowed? Can an NFL team right now call up the backup and say, hey, come on over here, even though he's got a contract? And so in our world, I think there just needs to be clarity of what we can and cannot do, end quote. I agree with the sentiment. It would be great if there was clarity in college football on what they can and cannot do. This is a pretty dramatic change in tone from Dabo Swinney about what he thinks and says about Ole Miss and Luke Farrelly and things of that nature.
Yeah. That feels like
he went from NCAA smite them to I don't want anybody to get in trouble. I need to know what I'm allowed to do, guys. So I don't want to get anybody in trouble. It's not about one player.
Well, I'll tell you what.
It's not about a player.
Tell you what, Dabo. I'm gonna help you out. You want to know what you can do? Buddy, you can do whatever you want. Because if you do get in trouble, you're from that area. What county is Clemson in?
Anderson.
We're just going to go to the Anderson County circuit clerk or circuit judge and tell him, hey, we're going to hear this case right here. And I promise you it'll all go away. And that's just the way life goes. So do whatever you want, Dabo.
It really doesn't.
I don't. Nobody cares.
It really doesn't.
Look around you, Dabo. We're at the threshold of hell. What do you want?
I do find it fascinating, though. I think that through the NCAA's inquiry, I think there have been reasons given for him to tame his rhetoric about Luke Farrelly and Ole Miss in particular.
I think it's more that people were like, look, dummy, if Golding is being serious, if he's not bluffing, he'll bring us all down, so shut up. I think it's more of that than anything else.
So I don't know what that means other than it's June 17th, and there's not much to talk about. I do think that the shift in tone is noteworthy because, like I said at the time, I think that it had been communicated to Clemson that, are you sure you want to do this?
Right.
That was a rumor anyway at the time that after the press conference there had been some communication that Clemson probably doesn't want to be put out there.
You want to do that, yeah. 100%.
So if that's true or not, I don't know, but you have seen a denial of a Freedom of Information Act request, and now, actually, I don't want to get anybody in trouble. It's not about one player. I don't want any, hands up. I don't want that.
Right.
That might mean something. That might mean nothing. I don't know. On that note, there was also, if the Save College Sports bill passes, which it won't, but if it does, a provision was added to the bill. Because there's been some talk about the bill actually, Hadad, would have allowed the NCAA to retroactively make a Trinidad Chambliss not eligible to play.
Right, I saw that.
That provision, or there's been a provision that does not allow that anymore. So if you're an Ole Miss fan that is worried, unless that provision now gets taken out again, it's been added.
Son of a gun.
The bill's not going to pass anyway, so it does not matter. But we
Son
have
of a
gotten
biscuit eater. I can't believe it. I thought we had a chance.
We have gotten some texts about that, like, hey, should I be worried about Chambliss?
Yeah.
Not now. The bill's not passing anyway, but if it does, he is now protected.
Okay. Oh, great. That's fantastic news.
It's not passing anyway.
I couldn't have been any happier to hear about that. Yeah.
Man. So, and somebody, this is another point of order as well. Somebody says there's no binding paperwork to tamper with the kid, which is on Dabo and the Clemson administration. They are more at fault than Clemson. Or they are more at fault than Ole Miss is what he's saying. Yeah, people keep saying that. And a local media member here in the state said the same thing. A financial aid agreement only binds school to player. That has been the case forever.
Forever.
It only binds school to player, not player to school. The only binding contract a player can sign right now is a revenue sharing agreement with the school, and they can still get out of that with a buyout.
Yeah.
I believe at the end of this month, Ole Miss is due a buyout from two players that transferred to LSU. Devin Harper and Prince Will Umanmielen. TJ Daugherty
might buy us some dinner or something?
Yeah, no kidding.
Big money.
Daugherty and Winston Watkins did not have new deals. So Ole Miss is not owed a buyout for those two guys. Mm-hmm. But for Harper and Prince Will, those guys signed. Ole Miss is due. I believe it was June 27th, or maybe it's July 27th, when that money will come, and it's a 7-figure check that LSU is going to have to write to Ole Miss for that.
Very nice.
It's good work if you can get it, I suppose.
Yeah.
But Luke Ferrelli did not have that with Clemson. He did not have a binding contract signed with Clemson. Financial aid agreements are not binding player to school.
Correct.
So where does this go? I don't know. How does this end? I still don't know. I'm going to be honest with you guys. There are people that think that literally nothing at all is going to happen. Maybe it doesn't. You have now seen 2 head coaches get a very light slap on the wrist because of tampering. One, a power head coach with Kirk Ferentz, served a suspension a couple years ago. What was it, North Dakota? Not North Dakota State, but North Dakota had their head coach get slapped on the wrist because of tampering. So I'm not going to sit here and say that the NCAA is incapable of doing something because they have with other coaches. I don't know. But if you think anything significant's coming from that, that's where I will say, I don't agree with you there.
And that's what I've been saying since this started. Like, at worst, the absolute worst scenario was Golding doesn't coach the Charlotte game. That's the absolute worst thing that's going to happen as a result of any of this.
Or maybe he gets the week off during Wofford,
Yes, one of those two. Those are the two games that would be, because, as we've talked about before, the NCAA kind of opened that loophole where you can pick and choose when your coach is going to be there. If I'm Golding, I'd be like, LSU, just don't want to be there. I don't want to deal with that day. Oh, well, we lost, but I wasn't there. So if I had been there,
coaches have been able to do, though. If I was there, we'd have won thing. Yeah,
well, it's a thing.
So,
yeah, I've seen coaches do that. Yes.
Yeah, I do love that. The what ifs that we do in college football all the time. Mm-hmm. If this team played that schedule, they would lose this number of games.
Right.
Or
yeah. You don't like that?
No, I love it. I think it's hilarious because it's so misguided.
Well, it just is what it is.
But anyway, that is your only bit of real college football news today, and it's really just Chris Lowe pulling quotes from a rather innocuous story. That's what we get on June 17th. That is what it is.
We can only do so much,
Oh, man. We've been asked about win totals. We've done some of those already, but we'll keep doing them as they pop up. I have a state-specific question on the win totals, though, because new ones got released. Quite frankly, they all seemed low in the SEC. The SEC did not have a single double-digit over-under win total, and most all of them seemed lower. I tried to do the math, and it kind of checks out mathematically, but not anyway. Mississippi State's win total. What happens if? We'll do a little bit of that when we come back. That's your college football fix, driven by Ford and your local Mississippi Ford dealer. We are Sports Talk Mississippi. When guests appear on the show, they do so on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team, Mississippi Farm Bureau. We'll be right back.
Back to Sports Talk Mississippi.
Doesn't get any better than this.
On Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. So a betting site released some updated SEC over-under win totals. No team had double digits. None. Texas and Georgia had 9.5. Ole Miss was at 7.5. If that under hits, oh boy,
that's a huge problem.
Boy, Mississippi State. We talked about that a lot on Monday. So let's look at Mississippi State more specifically. 4.5 was their over/under win total. Just your initial thought there, number one. What did you think when you saw that?
I think it's maybe a game low. If you'd said 5.5, I'd really, really struggle. 4.5, I think State can get 5, but we'll see.
Yeah, the whole thing felt low, but we did, as we say all the time, there is an extra 8 losses that have to be added to the conference, and they all can't be Arkansas.
Right.
8 new losses have to be created this year, and so that obviously can decrease the totals. But we talked about pressure on Pete Golding on Monday and how this roster should not go 7-5.
Right.
Quite simply.
Right.
What should this Mississippi State roster go? Just the roster, assuming relative health, what should this roster do?
That's a good question because I just don't know enough about the offensive line. I feel like defensively they're going to be much improved. They've got a real coach there, a guy who knows how to coordinate defense in this league. Bringing Matt Brock back was also a big plus, I thought, for Mississippi State. And from a talent perspective, they should be really strong in the secondary. Kelly Jones is as good as it gets. Isaac Smith, really good. They've got some experienced safeties. They got another couple of experienced corners they brought in from the portal. They got Braylon Womack back there, who I think is going to be super talented. I feel good about the secondary. I'm concerned about the defensive line, but they brought in the guys they brought in at least were power conference guys. Not so much, group of 6 guys. I feel like that translates a little bit better. And if Will Woodson comes back, that guy's a difference maker for State. But it's all about the offensive line. And if that group doesn't even have to be good. They don't have to be good, Michael. Can they be C-? Can I get a C- offensive line? Because I feel like if I can get a C- offensive line, State's going to win some ball games. And then, of course, the other thing in the X factor is Kamario Taylor. How good is he really? I think the ceiling on him is incredibly high. I think, we talked about it today. I'm sorry, not today, on Tuesday's Thunder and Lightning podcast, that when you look at Levy's career, the coaches he's worked with, the quarterbacks, he's worked with, an average of about 3,300 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. That's the average. 350 rushing yards. Now, that number is kind of skewed by Shapen and Van Buren 2 years ago. State didn't have any quarterback run in that offense. But last year, Kamario, in very limited time, rushed for 480 yards. So the idea that he can, be the full-time guy, I think he can be a 6 or 7 or 800-yard rusher for Mississippi State with the opportunity he's going to have. So if I can get 3,000 yards passing and 800 yards rushing out of Kamario Taylor, I'm going to feel really good about State's chances to win games. So that's a long way to answer your question, but it feels like the correct answer is they should be able to win 7. Anything over that is really, really good. Anything under that, I don't know that I would be in the bringing Jeff Levy back business.
You said if Will Whitson comes back, is that still?
Well, no, it's not that. He'll be. He's healthy. It's not that. It's. Does he continue to play like he played that first game and a half before he tore his ACL? Like, can I get a full season of that guy? If I can, I've got a legitimate all-SEC defensive lineman. That's a great thing for Mississippi State. But I've only seen him play, 6 quarters of football.
You mentioned defensively. So the website, Our Lads.
I'm a big fan of that website.
Is very helpful. But, because it's impossible to do.
Right.
Sometimes their depth charts are not quite accurate. And I'm not going to hold you to a depth chart that
right
in June anyway, but I'll give you who they have starting defensively. You just give me yes or I don't know about that one in terms of guys that are actually going to start.
Yeah.
So on the defensive line, Whitson.
For sure.
Bledsoe.
Possibly.
Evans.
He'll start.
And Amari Williams.
They love him. I don't know if he starts the first game. Gillette might just because he's got a little more experience, but they love that guy.
Linebackers, Lockhart and Tillman.
100% will start.
Kelly Jones, I don't know, but I don't know if he's going to start or not. I don't know.
We thought the other day about Jacob Parker. You could write him in Sharpie. There's one you can write in Sharpie. As long as he's healthy, he's playing.
Gilbert.
Probably will play. Experienced.
But may not start?
No, that's what I'm saying. He'll start.
Marcus Williams.
Probably going to start. But you see the name right behind him there, Braylon Womack. Just keep an eye.
Quentin Taylor.
Between him, Jefferson, probably one of those two, yeah.
And Isaac Smith.
Right, another Sharpie. For sure going to start.
Definitely going to start. This defensive line, the recruiting profiles, the high school recruiting profiles of the defensive line,
good.
It's better than it was a season ago.
Well, you look at it like this. When you think about what State's had, in Whitson, Trevion Williams, Jason Jenkins, Trey Bledsoe, Calvin Dinkins, Diesel Moy, Dalen Evans, DJ Reed, Amari Williams, Darian Gillette. All those guys have played power football. Most of it in the SEC. You've got some guys who played in the ACC. But all of those guys have played a lot of snaps at this level. So you got to feel like you've got enough guys there that can play. Again, I don't need Jeff Simmons, Chris Jones, and Fletcher Cox out there. I don't need those three guys. I just need to be better.
Just don't get pushed around.
Yeah, and I think having Arnett will bring some toughness. I think they'll be okay. Much more concerned about the offensive line than I am anything defensively, and that tells you something considering how bad State has been defensively the past 2 seasons. That the hiring of Arnett has immediately alleviated that. I think if Arnett had been the defensive coordinator last year, we're talking about Mississippi State in a totally different fashion. We're talking about a team that probably won 7 or 8 games. We're like, let me get them into the playoff this year, kind of talk.
You can't quantify toughness, but that is, you don't have to be good to be tough. And that defense last year was neither.
It wasn't. They got pushed around, and
except for the Arizona State game.
Yeah. Well, even in that game, Arizona State ran the ball very, very effectively in that game, especially in the second half.
Until that fourth down stop.
Until Whitson got hurt. When he got hurt, the everything changed for Mississippi State, and that's an issue. Like, I understand that not everybody you don't have like 4 All-Americans out there. I get that, but it shouldn't just be one guy goes down and everything falls apart. He's not the quarterback. So, defensively, I'm not too terribly worried about State. My concerns when I look the depth chart you should be looking at is this one, and I'll just tell you that some of these are probably not correct. I don't think Jakeem Shumpert-Perkins is your starting left tackle. I think that's going to be Miles McVay. Chester at left guard could be the case. Cannon Boot at center could be the case. Prudhomme, transfer from Arkansas, right guard, maybe. Blake Steen, I don't think he's starting at right tackle. I think that's where Perkins will end up, the JUCO transfer.
That's 3, could be, or no, that's 4, could be maybes or no's on the offensive line right now. Why? What is contributing to that?
Well, I think it's just that I don't think that this depth chart is correct more than anything else. Like, if you said for me to put a depth chart out from left to right, I would go McVay, Perkins. I'm sorry, not Perkins. McVay, Prudhomme, Chester, maybe Steen, and then Perkins at the right tackle. That's how I think it would line up. But again, I will say this. Everybody in this group here has, except for the 2 JUCO guys who redshirted last year, have played SEC football. Chester's from LSU. Boone started every game for State last year. Prudhomme was at Arkansas. Steen was going to start at Mississippi State. Started, 1 game. McVay is maybe the one. And if he's good, great. You're going to be okay. There's a reason they went after Jordan Seaton, though. They thought they wanted to get the best guy. Mm-hmm. They didn't get him. This is the guy they've got in.
And then the UAB transferred.
Yeah, I forgot about Brandon Sneh. Didn't have any eligibility left, so whatever.
Could have gotten it.
Probably could have gotten it. So
ain't no probably.
Yeah, you're right.
He could have gotten it had he wanted. What's he doing now? Is he in the supplemental draft? Is that?
Well, he got out quick enough to get into the actual draft, didn't he?
He didn't he?
But I don't know if he got picked up.
I wonder if you could use that as your filing for the supplemental draft, as I was fighting my eligibility and couldn't.
Let's see here. Does not appear to have been signed by anybody.
May give the UFL a shot.
Yeah.
I'm not being flippant. I mean, truly, UFL's there, and.
Oh wait, I'm wrong. He's signed with the Montreal Alouettes. He's in the CFL.
Isn't that where Chad Kelly plays?
Maybe.
But he got in trouble, didn't he? Beyond the injury, he also got in some kind of trouble.
Yeah.
His leg got shattered in half, and then
something like that. Yeah.
Sports Talk Mississippi, Pearl River Resort Studio. Don't go anywhere.
From the Seabrook. If it's sports in Mississippi, you'll hear about it here. Sports Talk Mississippi.
You like this show, huh?
Yeah!
Super Talk Mississippi.
If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, go see our friends over at Oxford Toyota and Belt Ford on Highway 6 in Oxford. Anybody will sell you a car. Maybe a lot of people give you a good deal. Who makes the buying process stress-free? Who makes it feel like you're welcome from the moment you walk on the lot? They're not pushy. They're not pressing. They just want to get you the best deal and get you in the car that you want. That's our friends over at Belt Ford and Oxford Toyota. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned vehicle, visit them online, oxfordtoyota.com, beltford.com. Take a look at their selection, and then make the trip to Oxford to buy. And tell them, as always, that Borkey and Hadad did, in fact, send you.
On the text line, does Hadad still think Lebby needs 7 to keep his job?
I mean, I'm so torn on that. Like, if he goes 6-6, do I think they're going to fire him? I don't, but I do think that at that point you have no excitement for football in Starkville, and people just going to go in the apathy train at that point.
Do we know what the first game of next year is?
We don't. I'm pretty sure it's a I'm sure it's a non-conference game, but
2027.
Yeah.
Missouri State in Starkville, Saturday, September 4th.
If Lebby goes 6-6 and he's brought back, and by the way, that is still up in the air as far as the schedule goes. You never know.
Yeah, things change all the time, but just assuming that remains.
And we're talking about Lebby coming off a 6-6 season. He goes to a bowl. We'll give him the bowl game. 7-6. I don't know, 38,000.
Maybe.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, nobody cares.
Missouri State though is a Division I team now, though.
Well, they're Conference USA. Yeah.
Somebody says, I hate to say this, but to be honest, if Mississippi State has less than 7 wins, I think we need to be disappointed. However, I don't think we can get to 8.
It will be, I mean, here's how you have to look at things, right? You got to break it down like this. Let me break out the helmet schedule here. So let's say State goes 3-0 in the non-conference, right? That's a good start. You're 3-0, you beat ULM, you beat Minnesota, and you beat Tennessee Tech. Got to get 5 wins out of 9 in the SEC. You got to go 5-4 to get to 8-4, right? At South Carolina, Missouri, Alabama, at LSU, Oklahoma, at Texas, Vandy, Auburn, at Ole Miss. So
that's really tough.
It's really tough. So let's just say of their home games, let's say they can beat Missouri, Vanderbilt, and Auburn. All right. And by the way, as we sit here right now, State might be favored against Vanderbilt, maybe a slight favorite against Auburn. I don't think they'd be favored against Missouri, but
no,
we'll give them those 3, right? So now I've got to win 2 more, right? I feel like Brian O'Connor, right? I got to win 2 out of Alabama, at LSU, Oklahoma, at Texas, at Ole Miss. That's really going to be difficult. Now I'll say this: if they do that, if they are an 8-4 football team, then I think everybody's on board with Jeff Lebby. We're off and running, and you're talking about 2027. Kamario Taylor comes back as a junior, full year as a starter. He's probably a preseason All-SEC guy, and you're talking about State could be a dark horse playoff contender. But that's going to be difficult. It's these first 4 games. If State is anything less than 3-1, the season is over. If they're 2-2 after the first 4 games, they're going to win maybe 5. Maybe 5. They have to find a way to beat Minnesota, beat South Carolina, beat Missouri. If they could be 4-0, last year State was 4-0. And yes, the win over Arizona State was a good win. And heck, the win at Southern Mississippi wasn't a bad win by any stretch of the imagination. But that 4-0 and this 4-0 would be completely different. At
Created
this
very
4-0,
differently.
You've got 2 SEC wins already. You're thinking, I mean, at that point, 4-0, you're thinking, well, can they beat Alabama? You know, could they find a way to upset Alabama? Alabama the next week, by the way, plays Georgia. They would absolutely be looking ahead. Could you sneak up on them? That's what you're thinking if you're 4-0. If you're 2-2, you're thinking, are they going to fire Lebby on the off week on October the 10th? Does Philip Montgomery take over as interim head coach when State plays at LSU?
You know,
that's what you're thinking.
You know, who's got head coaching experience that's on that staff that could be.
I know what you're thinking right now. I know what you're thinking. I don't know that you want to go that route again.
Interim head coach Zach Arnett.
I don't think that's the route you want to go. But
it still is wild that you have 2 former head coaches be the defensive coordinators at the same school with Arnett and then James Franklin with Pry at Virginia Tech. Yeah. Arnett had the years between.
Yeah, Pry just stayed straight up.
Pry just stayed there. That is fascinating that you have that dynamic.
It's weird. It's very weird. So that's where State is, though. Is just fine margins.
Somebody says, y'all have been to the weed store with a couple exclamation points.
Marijuana?
Stay off the weed. It's June. If we're not talking about a team ceiling, then what are we talking about? Nothing.
Yeah, what do you want me to do? Yeah.
Nothing. And, I mean, a quality quarterback can take you a long way. Now, Taylor's not – the last iteration we saw of him was not good enough to carry a team, but the potential that we saw last time is good enough to carry a team.
Need to have what you saw him running the football in the Egg Bowl is perfectly okay, but we got to get better at the passing part of things. I talked about that tomorrow's Thunder and Lightning podcast. It's our first opponent preview. We had this scrub named Michael Borkey come on with us.
Yeah, we did. It's horrible.
We've talked a little Egg Bowl, and I was talking about what is the way to beat Ole Miss this year for Mississippi State. And the way to do that is, and in my opinion, the only way to do it, is that Kamario Taylor has a Cam Newton moment. Mm-hmm. That he goes out there and he throws for 250 and he runs for 150 and he's responsible for 4 or 5 touchdowns. That's the State. I don't think State's just going to go back and forth with Ole Miss in Oxford and beat them. They've got to have not just a good game from Kamario Taylor in that game. They got to have his best game. They got to have a game that people talk about for decades. You got to talk a game that Ole Miss fans are like, I was there when Kamario Taylor absolutely went off on Ole Miss that day. That's what you got to have to beat Ole Miss this year. Making the assumption that Ole Miss is what we think they're going to be and that Mississippi State is going to be what we think they're going to be.
They are who we thought they were.
Yeah.
Maybe that needs to be one of our top 5s.
What? The top
best
5
press conference moments?
I don't have a problem with that. We could absolutely do that.
I'll take a little research, but, that is, I guess, the job, isn't it?
I was at 2 of them that I'm going to rank.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to rank Moorhead after the Egg Bowl in 2019.
I have to drag my...
Yeah, and I'm going to rank Mike Leach's I'm worried that we're going to evolve without hands press conference. That's an all-timer. I got to be there for that. That was so much fun.
Of all the good ones.
Dude.
Oh,
I just remember, all I remember is looking across at my buddy Stefan Krajnik, who was with the Clarion Ledger at the time. When he started talking, we just shared a little glance, and it was just like, all right, put my laptop down. I'm not going to tweet anymore. I'm just going to pay attention because I know what's happening here. And that was a lot of fun.
There's a lot to choose from, too. I'm a man, I'm 40.
Oh, yeah. You got that. Yeah, you mentioned they are what we thought they were. Playoffs. Playoffs. You play to win the game. You got another Jim Moore. You got Diddley Poo. Don't forget Diddley Poo.
Allen Iverson.
Allen Iverson is a good one,
talking
for
about
sure.
Practice, man.
I'm just here so I don't get fined. Needs to be mentioned. I'm sure, yeah. There's plenty more.
What game would be Camario's coming out party? At South Carolina, I think, would be the most prime candidate for that early in the season.
Yeah, like at Minnesota, I'm so fascinated by that game, right? Because I feel like
that game's going to get buried, though, nationally.
It does get buried. I mean, it's the same day as Oklahoma, Michigan, and Ohio State, Texas, and Tennessee, Georgia Tech. That's fine. I'm not worried about that. I'm just thinking in terms of there's a way State could win that game really big, right? Like Minnesota is just not built to stop a guy like Kamario Taylor. So you have a big win, and then the next week at South Carolina. How funny would it be, Michael Borkey, if on the Monday September the 21st, we're talking about what Kamario Taylor did to South Carolina a little bit more than we're talking about what happened with Ole Miss LSU. What if Kamario Taylor just destroys South Carolina? It seems unlikely.
I regret, no matter what happens in Ole Miss LSU, that will be talked about more.
What if it's just a boring 13-10 game? It's like
the least likely of outcomes right there.
That is the least likely. That's the. I would think that Ole Miss winning that game 66-0 is more likely than the final score being 13-10.
I think I agree.
I think much better chance of that happening. So, but I mean that's the game, because here's what happens. Kamario goes over to South Carolina. He throws for 250 and runs just for 125, and State wins. What are they talking about coming into the game? They always kind of look back at other stuff's happening. They're going to talk about that for a minute. You're going to have, McElroy and McDonough or Herbstreit and Fowler talking about, like, by the way, another thing happened in the state of Mississippi today was this. And so, I don't know. Maybe it's that Missouri game. That's a night game. Depends on what channel it's on. But if 3-0, State's 3-0, could get some national pub on that one.
Sports Talk Mississippi. We will wrap the show up with you next. Stick with us.
What we're going to do right here is go back.
And now back to the sports. This is Sports Talk Mississippi.
So let's get rolling
on Super Talk Mississippi.
U.S. Open gets started at about 5:30 Central tomorrow morning from Shinnecock Hills. The wind is going to be insane to the point where balls might not even stay on the 11th green. It's going to be just wind won't allow it, and the green is shaped a certain way, and the wind might just blow every ball off the green. It's going to be carnage. A funny moment, though, Hadad, you'll appreciate this. A very guys being dudes moment in a practice round today.
You got my attention.
So Gary Woodland was playing with Scotty Scheffler, and I forget the other guy in their group, but Gary Woodland hits it 60 to 70 yards further than Scotty off the tee. And
I just can't believe you forgot Sam Burns like that.
Sam Burns in the group?
Yeah. That's what Google says.
Shreveport, Louisiana.
Yeah, shout out. Shout out to Bunky Perkins.
And so, obviously, Scotty and Burns stop at their ball, and Woodland has to walk a mile to his. And when he gets to his ball head, he pulls out his rangefinder, points it at Scotty, gets the distance between him and Scotty, gets his phone out of his bag, calls Scotty to tell him the number of yards that he outdrove him by.
Nice. That's good stuff.
Sitting there on the course. Hey, Scotty, I'm 70 yards ahead of you, buddy. Hangs up the phone. Oh, man. I love that. Almost as good as some Tiger was a great four-letter word talker. He was among the best, as it turns out. But pretty good stuff. What's coming up on Thunder and Lightning here in a little bit?
I think we'll continue some of this discussion, obviously, about Kamario Taylor. But we got to dive into the transfer portal a little bit. Mississippi State having some success there. And from we don't talk about it too often anymore, but from a high school recruiting point, State picked up 4 commitments this past weekend, including one of the top players in the state. So we'll talk about that.
Running back, right?
Running back from Winona, Mississippi. Winona's been good to State over the past couple of years. And so, we'll talk about all that. Plus, other stuff on Thunder and Lightning.
Yeah. I did see there was an in-state player that committed to Colorado. Mm-hmm. And in one of my groups, people were like, how could they let that happen? How could – and they pulled Lebby into it. They're like, how could Lebby and Pete let this happen? And I said, guys, I'd be willing to bet that recruitment opens itself up by season's end. I wouldn't stress too much about that one in particular.
I would also bet that if Lebby and/or Golding really, truly wanted the guy, that it would be done.
Because Coach Prime's not going to be at Colorado
strikes
after
me as
this
a guy
year.
who will decommit from Colorado and end up at Memphis or something like that.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. We'll see.
We talked about it at the time. There was no structure. There was no organization. It was a mess. I did not think that the momentum and everything would just poof, disappear, dust in the wind, shout out Kansas with Colorado. I mean, it all of the goodwill is gone.
Yeah. Well, they had one good year.
And it wasn't even that good.
They won 9 games with a Heisman Trophy winner and say what you want, but there was a time where we thought Shedeur Sanders was going to be a number 2 pick in the draft.
He started games for the Browns last year.
That combination should win more than 9 games
in that conference.
Yeah, and didn't. Well, almost in any conference. If you tell me right now that Kejuan Lacey is going to win the Heisman Trophy and Trinidad Chambliss is going to be a first round pick, buddy, I'll tell you that Ole Miss is probably going to win the national title,
or at least
they're for sure getting in the playoff for sure.
They should.
So yeah, that's definitely underachieved.
Got a lot of health issues too. Part of me wonders if again, structurally, it seemed like he was never really up for it. But now, in particular, when you've had the health stuff that he's had, maybe you just go enjoy life, man. You've made millions more now as a head coach. Just go hang out, be a scout, that kind of thing. Be a pundit for TV, host a podcast. I don't know. It just
do something, yeah.
Something besides what you're doing.
You would think, because money's not an issue for him. He's got plenty of that. Your health needs to be more important.
Mm-hmm.
My guess is this is Deion's last year as a head coach. Yeah. Look, the experiment worked. He had some success. I think if he had been completely healthy and completely committed to this, in terms of I'm going to go visit recruits and stuff, could have had a lot of success. But it's just not right.
More Hadad coming up here in about 8 minutes from right now. In the meantime, I'm signing off. I will see you guys tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Stick around for an hour of Hadad.
Tomorrow's Borkey's Friday.
It is my Friday. Shout out the United States national team for some stupid reason playing at 2 o'clock Central on a Friday when you control when you play. I don't get it, but oh well. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey, Dad, we'll see you here in just a few minutes. Good night.
SuperTalk Mississippi Media Production.